Hello, I'm Annalisa Buscaini. I'm policy analyst at the European Policy Center, a think tank working on European public policies in Brussels. I'm here today at the Innovation Policy Lab organized by ELF and FNF. Thank you so much for the invitation. So far it's been really stimulating conversation about demography and migration that we've been having. I think that's a very interesting question because obviously demographic changes in Europe are bringing many challenges, essentially because our policies and institutions and economic systems are not adapted to an aging population and a shrinking workforce. And I think that is particularly visible in the healthcare and long-term sectors where needs are increasing. And at the same time, the workforce of these sectors is shrinking and is itself aging particularly rapidly. Migration, in a sense, offers already partially some solutions. If we look at the workforce in these sectors, migrants represent a sizable portion, especially when it comes to long-term care. For example, in Germany, elderly care is provided for 25% by migrant workers. However, there is still quite a lot of barriers when it comes, for example, to the recognition of qualifications and skills of a foreign workforce that are not recognized easily in the EU. That creates a situation where migrants work in positions that do not maximize the contribution that they could give to these sectors that are, on the contrary, in need of these contributions. There is also big issues when it comes to working conditions. Because often in these sectors there are problematic working conditions, and especially the migrant workforce is more exposed to situations, for example, low wages, of sometimes even exploitative conditions because of their precarious situation and migrant status. I think that to sort of like move on from this situation, we have to start rethinking access to the EU and access to work in the EU, let's say from almost sort of a prize to something that needs to be more attractive in itself. And I think to do that, it's crucial to invest in quality jobs in these sectors, in quality working conditions, recognitions of skills and qualifications also from abroad, and in labor and social rights, which at the end of the day is one of the key selling points of Europe. Is often depicted as a burden on European societies, but it's actually one of our key selling points to attract and retain workforce in Europe itself, but also from abroad.